All right, Cyber Traders, good morning and welcome on back here to close out this week, Friday morning, that is November 12th, shortly after 9 a.m. Great to see Leda, great to see Andrea, Grant, and all of us otherwise live inside the Cyber Group room. And if you're joining us on Facebook Live or YouTube or social streams, welcome on back as always. So I'll tell you what, throat's a little scratchy right now. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I think I might be getting sick. So hopefully not COVID. I feel all right normally. I feel like kind of just regular cold, but I might get checked out later on. With that in mind, I want to go right from top to bottom, make things pretty quick. We have the Newsy trade on the screen to begin, up over 12.5%. Right away, I'll put this on our watch list. It was a stock from yesterday that ended up making this crazy pop and move up, shortly after 10 a.m. Eastern time. Ended up making the pop, got halted like 3 or 4 times on the way up, as you could see from yesterday, just looking at the 5-minute chart. Well, from there, ended up topping off right around 750, essentially 7, but it topped off at like 750 before sharply pulling back. Hey, heading into the afternoon, it completely dumped. But hey, it's pretty surprising right now to see it up another 13+% here. So, hey, right now I'll put it on our watch list, tight spread, good liquidity on the order book, and it's relatively cheap. So all of that, how could I not put this on our main watch list to begin? We have a couple of others, though. I do want to recap the EVGO stock first before I officially go right from top to bottom on the gainers list. The EVGO stock, another big mover from yesterday. We didn't put it on the main special C2 watch list in the morning. But of course, as soon as the market opened up, we ended up seeing it make a big slingshot, ended up breaking below 16, ended up snapping right back above it. And from there, the rest was history. So with that in mind, right now the stock's down 1%, 600,000 shares. It's a great side list stock for this morning. I'll come back to it, probably at the end. I usually say if I need to. I want to come back to this at the end, actually. It's a great stock that provides good opportunity in both directions, up or down, mostly up. But, if you can get the shares to short this stock, at least, this could be a good pullback day. All right, so we'll come back to this at the end. Like I said, we'll go right from top to bottom. Otherwise, we had a pretty good pre-market, I'll say. A bunch of stocks were making some intermittent pops. One of these, the SNDL here, top percent gainer here. It's like one of the Reddit stocks, Wall Street Bet or Reddit stocks, you might say. It's just to say that this stock is a pot stock that ended up making a big squeeze for us back at the end of the after hours yesterday. And for right now, it's just generally holding under $1, making lower highs here and pulling a bit back right now. The TLRY trade, though, is holding pretty strong with it. Both of these are pot stocks. TLRY is up 6%. I didn't put TLRY on the main pre-market list before 8 a.m., but, shortly afterwards, we saw the stock begin to break new highs. We called it out live inside Cyber Group at that point. So, yeah, definitely we'll put TLRY on our main list. The SNDL we'll put on our main list here for the morning alongside the Newsy trade. All right, so let's see what else we got. The MITQ, another stock from the pre-market watch list. This one ended up making probably the biggest pop. Ended up popping from 320 all the way up towards just about 380. Pulled back a bit here, but for right now, it's definitely just going to keep it on our watch list. All right. So as I go through, folks, one thing I'm like kind of telling myself mentally, and I'll just express it verbally to everyone here, it's just to say today's Friday. So there's not as much news out, company-wise, not as many earnings out on Mondays and Fridays as there are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And, just we'll see if there's going to be a more active market or not. But I wouldn't necessarily expect for there to be one. I'll be a little bit more conservative and selective with, my picks here. The MRAM trade, it's pushing up pretty nicely for us right now. I was going to say prior to this meeting starting, it was like kind of spotty, inconsistent volume at times here. But yeah, nice push for the meantime right now. So the MRAM trade we'll put on our watch list also. And the RLX too. All right, so this might be like the end of me kind of just putting stocks on our watch list because RLX also is on the pre-market list. It's like to say, how could I not put this on our main list here going into the market open? Again, a $5.32 trade. You had a huge iceberg order, still shows at 520. We called that out real early in the morning, 341,000 share order on the bid at 520. And then after that, you would assume for the next support level below that point would be 5. All right, so the RLX also goes on the list. Now, again, at this point, I think that we'll be pretty selective because a lot of those were on the pre-market list already. A lot of those we were, calling out otherwise in pre-market. And I guess you could say STRN too, but this one's just kind of flat and in fact just shaking back down a bit right now. So listen, it's tradable in the sense of 1.4 million shares, across the pre-market, up 15% cheap. For right now, though, I'd rather, just see what else we got. Picky and choosy, that's all. ACIU, same thing, popped just a moment ago, but completely pulled back down now. Here's our TLRY trade already on our watch list at this point. That looks pretty nice. Also is shortable. If it goes the other way, then that could be a pretty interesting play at least. CODX, former vaccine stock, back from the beginning of the pandemic, back in March of 20, or even February. But yeah, I mean, after hours pop. I don't know if this is earnings or not, but just kind of spotty pre-market here. If anything, we'll call this stock out if we need to. When the market opens up. If this makes a big pop to break a new high, then at that point, it would be hard for us to not focus on it. All right. How about this? Michael S., one of our new trial members, joining us inside our live trading room. Welcome aboard, Michael. Welcome aboard all of our new trial members here. Listen, if you have not had a chance to talk to your personal education advisor yet, they're kind of the middleman between you and myself, you and Fausto. Please do so. I'm going to type our office phone number here in the chat board. If you've yet to schedule an appointment with them, that's the phone number right there. So please just call. They'll be able to provide like a 5-minute, 10-minute walkthrough of everything that you would need to know about, why we make the call outs that we make, how we do them, everything on this platform, etc. All right, so we keep it going. Otherwise, we'll kind of hop over to the losers list here. I don't really see much on the gainer side otherwise here that looks like a familiar name. All right, Leda getting out 9 cent profit on the NUZE, but she said that she got out way too soon. So we'll go back to that trade at the end. I mean, obviously that's on our list already. Leda's had a pretty good pre-market so far herself. All right, we keep it going. ONCR on the loser side here, down 35+%. Relatively inexpensive, but don't have a need to put this on our list. I mean, if anything, Ride's the only stock that looks interesting in terms of a known name that's down big, that's within our price range, shortable, easy to borrow otherwise. We were following this on the way up yesterday on a potential short squeeze off of news. But, again, it's to say the stock is one of the more heavily shorted stocks out there. So, I guess you could say no surprise that this thing pulled back down if it's not going to break out higher. Actually, you know what? I mean, that still stands true, but I'm just recognizing right now, this thing got whacked in the after hours. Was this earnings related too? I know they came out with news in the pre-market yesterday. Yeah, earnings related. So their EPS beat the estimate. That's noted. I don't know the full highlight in terms of guidance and all of that. So either way, even furthermore for that reason, I should say, we'll put this on our main list. Right. I don't know what the headline is or what the real news is with earnings. And it says the EPS beat the estimate, but there's obviously going to be more to it. Maybe they lowered guidance. Maybe their sales missed the estimates. Who knows? Ooh, a couple big profits coming in. Let me jump to it right now. The NUZE trade, Newsy. Got Gene picking up 28 cents inside Cyber Group. We have Neil H. He took 3 trades, got $1.07 on it. Wow. Yeah. Leda, it's all right. We can get back in it if it gives us the chance in just a bit or after the market opens up, or otherwise, again, there's plenty of other stocks so far on our watch list. TLRY, the SNDL, the RLX trade on the way down, even if you could short. RLX, of course, plenty of others, but definitely this made a really nice big breakout, made the slingshot effectively from 6. And Alex, too. Man, Alex, you got 54 cents on Newsy. You got in from 617. Excellent. All right, we keep the good times going, folks. Let's see what else we got here to wrap up the morning watch list. Current time right now, 9:09. Not 9:09, partially because I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm sure I'll be good. I'll get checked out just in case, but I'm sure I'm good. All right. I think that just about wraps it up for me, though, folks. Nothing really else that catches my eye. I mean, maybe HP here, but only 66,000 shares. That's not really a whole lot. We'll go to Bitcoin crypto at the very end of the day, going into the afternoon meeting. Check out Riot right now, at least. We were watching this going into the afternoon. Got out of my trade, actually, at the end of the afternoon meeting. But, for right now, pushing back up a bit. That could be a good sideless stock for after the market opens. OCGN, you could say the same thing on here, too. Don't forget about STRN. I'm not putting this on the main list, but still relatively active. If this ends up making a pop after the open, we'll be there to call it out. Last one here, actually, I just saw from Benzinga Pro, one actually from yesterday that made a really good move, the root trade. I forgot to cover this one. Ended up making a big slingshot effectively from 520. Broke out from 590, $6 resistance, going into the early afternoon. And for right now, making its way back above 6 here. So this one, if anything, if I were to kind of cherry pick all the side list stocks that I could, put on the main list, if I can kind of slip one on there, I would say it could be this root trade. Shortable, it's pushing back up above that 589 price. It's up already 4 plus percent, near 5%. All right, I sold myself. All right, but that about wraps it up though in full though. We got 2, 4, 6, 8 stocks to work with. Not too big of a watch list there. I did all right. So with that in mind, folks, I just want to make sure that all of our students inside our trading room, all of our trial members otherwise that are just kind of learning the ropes, understanding what we're doing here, I want to make sure that you folks have enough time to kind of watch these stocks, prepare going into the market open. So we'll call it a show for right now. For all of us on YouTube or Facebook Live, if you have any questions, feel more than free to send over a quick email. I'm going to type my email address here in the chat board. I hope you've been following along all week as Fausto's been in Las Vegas. He'll be back in his seat come Monday. But otherwise, if you have any questions, feel more than free to send over a quick email or question right to josh@ctutrading.com. If you're ready to make the plunge, as I like to say, and join us live inside our trading room, continue the audio commentary with myself going into the open, just go right down to the link on the banner below the stream just to get yourself started. For all of us there right now, Gene, Grant, Leda, Neil, all of us otherwise, I look forward to talking to you all coming up pretty shortly. Take care.